On this 2010 through 2017 Accord with the 2.4 gas engine, B1232 points to a short problem in the evaporator temperature sensor circuit. In plain terms, the climate control unit may be seeing an evaporator temperature signal that does not make electrical sense. The driver may notice a /C operation that seems inconsistent, or the system may simply store the code. Broadly, this can come from a shorted TEVA signal wire, a short between the signal and sensor common circuits, a poor connection, the evaporator temperature sensor itself, or the climate control unit after the circuit and sensor checks pass. Start by verifying the problem. Clear the DTC with the HDS. Then cycle the ignition. Turn the ignition switch to lock 0 and back to on Roman 2, or use the engine start/stop button to go from OFF mode back to on mode. Run the self-diagnostic with the HDS or through the climate control unit, then check codes again. If the same evaporator temperature sensor short fault is indicated, keep going with circuit testing. If it does not come back, treat it as intermittent and check for loose wires or poor connections in the evaporator temperature sensor circuit. Next, power the car down. Ignition switch to lock 0 or engine start/stop button to OFF mode. Disconnect the climate control unit 32P connector and the evaporator temperature sensor 2P connector. Now check continuity on the TEVA circuit between climate control unit 32P connector No. 26, the RED wire and body ground. If there is continuity, repair the short to body ground in the wire between the climate control unit and the evaporator temperature sensor. If there is no continuity, the TEVA wire is not shorted to ground, so move to the next check. With the same connectors still disconnected and the ignition still in lock 0 or OFF mode, check continuity between the sensor common side and the TEVA side at the climate control unit connector. The test points are climate control unit 32P connector No. 22, the BLU wire to climate control unit 32P connector No. 26, the RED wire. If there is continuity, repair the short in the wires between the climate control unit and the evaporator temperature sensor. If there is no continuity, the TEVA and sensor COM or SenseCOM wiring checks are okay, so continue to the sensor test. Now test the evaporator temperature sensor. If the sensor does not test okay, replace the evaporator temperature sensor. If the sensor does test okay and the earlier wiring checks passed, replace the climate control unit. That order matters. Prove the short checks first, then prove the sensor before condemning the control unit. The clean diagnostic path for B1232 is simple. Verify the code, check the TEVA wire for a short to ground, check for a short between TEVA and sensor common, then test the evaporator temperature sensor before making the final call on the control unit. Before you call it done, use the same clear, cycle, self-diagnostic, and code check routine to confirm the fault stays gone. For more diagnostic training, visit stepdiagnostics.com.